This video you're watching right now is brought to you by my ridiculously generous supporters of my Patreon. Thanks to their kindness, I'm able to do videos full time and bring you all this content that you get to watch for free. So be sure to give them a thank you as well. If you'd like to join them, head to patreon.com/Pocari and choose a tier. Just $5 gets you on the screen you're watching right now. And you can even help me get to the USA a little bit sooner, huh? You want to see me at MFF, AC, BLFC? Well, my Patreon helps me get there. So if you like what I do, give it a look for me. But for now, it's time for the video. Hello and welcome to Rain City. It's raining a lot, so I apologize for any annoying background rainy, thundery sounds. But Japan! This video is really long overdue considering my Japan trip was in April, but my patrons voted that I do it for my midweek video this week, so here it is! Japan is an absolutely incredible place, right? I'm never gonna stop praising it. But this time was different because I'd already been twice before, but they were on school trips. So like my high school has a really good Japanese program and like all the older grades get to actually go on a Japan trip. But you know, it's school. You've got a lot of restrictions, you've got curfews, and you're all, you know, high school age. This one was really good because I went with my family, so my mum, my dad, and my brother. And we were also all adults. Like this is my first time traveling abroad since becoming 18, so yeah, this was really exciting. Actually, I think the legal drinking age in Japan is 21 anyway, but I digress. Actually, speaking of drinking, Japan is really interesting because it is ridiculously easy to get alcohol in Japan. Because like, you know how with Japan, you can find vending machines everywhere. You know, vending machines is Japan's kind of thing. Like literally, you'll find vending machines, probably 2 on every block. But some of these vending machines have alcohol in them. So like with Australia, if you want some booze, you need to show your ID, and it needs to be a proper government ID, and whatever ID you use needs to be, you know, actual ID in that state. And then maybe you'll get your booze, but you might not get into the bar or whatever. In Japan, you can find a vending machine that has some beer, put in some money, and you get a beer. Completely unsupervised, no security measures, you can just get one. You can even find alcohol in the convenience stores. Like any old like 7-Elevens and stuff would carry alcoholic drinks. It was amazing. But yeah, I didn't see too many crazy vending machines in Japan, just lots and lots and lots of them. I think the weirdest one I saw was like a ramen making one, like would actually make you a hot bowl of ramen. One more thing I love about Japanese vending machines is you can get hot drinks in the vending machines. Like you can get an instant hot coffee from vending machines. Like pretty much every hotel we stayed in would either have a vending machine on that floor or a very short walk away. So I just get up, quickly go to the vending machine, put in 100 yen, get a nice hot coffee in a can, and I'm good for the morning. I really wish the rest of the world would adopt to this trade. Like it was just so nice, you know, like it's really good for when you're on your way to work or something. You don't have to wait for your morning coffee, and they stay warm in the machine in their cans. And yeah, they taste really good too. Anyway, back to the trip itself. So it was a 3-week trip in April, and the really good thing was, because my brother and I had also been before with our school's Japanese program, we both know enough Japanese between us to get around, so I would highly recommend learning some Japanese, even just the basics before you go. It is really, really handy. But the first place we stayed was Osaka, in a hotel that was literally right outside Universal Studios. That was nuts. And all the way leading up to Universal Studios was this strip called the Universal CityWalk, which was amazing. Like it's this massive strip filled with shops and restaurants and other things, all themed around Hollywood and movies. And there was this really cool light show there every night. All the shops and the food was so good, and right at the top there was a museum dedicated to fried octopus, so that was the thing. One of the first dinners we had was at this nice little ramen joint, and I'm telling you, you have not had ramen until you've had ramen in Japan at a little ramen joint. They only cost between 300 and 500 yen, so like $5, and you get a massive bowl filled with just the most amazing ramen ever. Like, it's so easy to see why a lot of Japanese businessmen don't actually cook dinner for themselves. They just, after work, they'll stop into like a ramen bar, just have this nice big bowl of ramen for next to nothing, pretty quick too, and off they go to home. Like, it's such a nice thing. Then came Universal Studios itself, and man, what an experience that was. I'd never been to any kind of Universal Studios before, so that was really cool. And we even got some fast passes for some of the rides, so there were a couple times where we got to just walk past everyone standing in like the 3-hour line, like, haha, yes, goodbye plebeians. My favorite thing out of the whole park was Hogsmeade, which is a full-on replica of the tower straight out of Harry Potter. It was like literally being taken to a different world because everything was just so detailed and accurate and perfect. I felt like I was in Harry Potter. It was so good. And there was this really cool thing you could buy. We didn't end up getting one, but there were these ones you could get which were interactive. So you'd wave it at like a shop window and something would happen. Like something would explode, something would move, something would come to life. And it was just so magical. Like, I'm pretty sure it works because there's like an IR receiver or transmitter on the wand, but I was pretty happy believing it was magic. It was magic. Ooh, we got to try butterbeer as well. Oh, butterbeer. Sadly non-alcoholic, but it was still really tasty. It was like a butterscotch creaming soda with like actual cream on top as well. It was just butterbeer. Doesn't taste like beer, it just tastes like awesome. But we kind of regretted doing that because after that we decided to go on the main ride of that section, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. I don't have any real photos or videos of it apart from like the one we got at the end here, because they took our phones and everything off us pretty early into the ride, so you can look it up on like Google or YouTube. There's other people's videos and things up, but oh, it was so cool. You get like these 3D glasses and you're strapped into a row of seats on a conveyor belt, and you just go through, whoosh off following Harry Potter on his broom, and like there was some actual roller coastery bits where you up and down, and like the big dragon came out at us. But the main attraction with this one is there are several stations where you stop, and there is this massive globe of a screen, so it curls around you, so even in your peripheral vision there's still screen. Everywhere you look you can see screen, and of course you've got your 3D glasses, so everything's coming back up at you, and it's just, oh, I'm in Harry Potter. And the seats would like move around, so it felt like you were whooshing with Harry Potter on his broom. And like, I'm usually pretty good when it comes to motion sickness, but even this was doing my brain in, because it's like, we're not moving, but it looks like we're moving. I know we're not flying, but it feels like we're flying, and it looks like we're flying, but my brain. Absolutely incredible, but I would not recommend drinking butterbeer beforehand. Ugh. We still stayed in Osaka for a few days after that, so we got the chance to explore Osaka City. I hadn't really been in Osaka at all before this, so this was really exciting, and I got to go to my first ever Pokemon Center. Lots of shopping, and another cool thing we found was the Gudetama Cafe. That was really awesome. Sadly it was closed when we got there, but that was still cool to see, and there was a life-size Gudetama just sitting out the front there. I wish I could have taken him home. Our next stop was Hiroshima. Now, here I had been before on school trips, but I'd never really been to the city before, so this was super cool. But the main reason we came to Hiroshima was so that I could show my mum and dad the Peace Museum. And we actually have a Japanese friend that lived in Hiroshima, so it was a good chance to catch up with her as well. We knew her because my high school has a sister school in Japan, and like we constantly, trade students and staying and stuff, so when she came over to Australia to our school, we looked after her for a couple of months, so we hadn't seen her in years. It was mental. It was really good to be able to catch up. But first was the Peace Museum, and if you don't know what the Peace Museum is, it is a memorial / museum that is dedicated to the Hiroshima atomic bombings. It goes into everything, like how the bomb was made, what happened before the bomb, what happened during the bomb, and all the aftermath. Like, ooh, it hits you hard. Lots of stories from people, lots of dioramas, and like lots of objects that had been through the bombing, so you could see like what happened to them and how damaged everything was. I don't want to go into it too much because it's really something you have to go and experience for yourself. I don't want to spoil it, but whew, definitely go if you do get the chance. The next day, we all caught the ferry to Miyajima Island, which you may know because of this very famous shrine that you can find there. Again, I've been here before on school trips, but it was so nice not having a time limit, because like with the school we only got a couple of hours there. This day we had the whole day, like literally we were there like on the first ferry and we left on the last ferry. It was so nice, and we even had enough time to go check out the aquarium as well, which I had not had the chance to do, so lots of fun. We finished off that night back in Hiroshima with one of my all-time favorite places to eat. There's this really nice okonomiyaki bar where they make the okonomiyaki right in front of you. Like, there is no okonomiyaki like Hiroshima style okonomiyaki. Let me show you.
Video. Hello. Hello.
The rest of our time in Hiroshima was spent with our Japanese friend and her parents, and they drove us around some of the other islands around Hiroshima. There are bridges to those islands, by the way. We didn't drive across the water. But that was really cool because I hadn't been there before, and there isn't really any really easy tourist route to those islands. Like, not anyone would really be able to go to some of the places that we went, so we got like a really authentic kind of Japanese experience in a way. Like for lunch, it looked like someone's house. Like if it was just my family, we wouldn't have gone in there because it just looked kind of sketchy, but that turned out to be one of my most all-time favorite lunches of the trip. It was so good, and it was so homely, and I literally think that this is someone's house and they just opened it up to the day as a restaurant, so that was super cool. Like where I sat, behind me was this really nice kimono just like all properly hung up, and like we were talking to one of the waitresses there, and she's like, yeah, that's my kimono I wore to my wedding. So, oh, it's super nice, it's super pretty, super homely, super Japanese. After Hiroshima, we jumped on the bullet train and went to go stay a few days in Nara, which is another place that I had never ever set foot in before. Most of you would have heard of Nara because of the deer. Nara is very famous for its deer park because, one, there's bajillions of them, like oh my god, I've never seen so many deer in one place. Two, they bow for their food, which is really cute, like, and three, yeah, there's just lots and lots of deer.
Do you want this? Do you want? You do want? Are you sure? Okay. Do you want another one? Okay.
If you're wondering what we're feeding them, all throughout the park you can find these stalls that sell deer cookies. So they're these nice like wafery things. I don't really know what goes into them, but they're designed to be fed to the deer to the park, so don't worry, we're feeding them all deer friendly stuff. But yeah, it's so nice getting to feed all the deer, but some of them aren't quite so polite to bow for their food. A lot of them will come up and like bite at your clothing to try and get your attention to get your food. And it was raining that day, so I was wearing a fairly light raincoat, and my raincoat ended up looking like Swiss cheese by the end of that trip. Another highlight of Nara was the alkahf. Now we hadn't actually planned to go there, we kind of stumbled across it, so we went and had breakfast there one morning, and ooh, I'm kind of torn on alkahfs to be honest. Because I mean, like, they look healthy, they look nice and well looked after, but they're all like strapped to their poles that they sit on with like a chain on their leg. So I mean, it looks fine, but I don't know, I felt so bad for all the poor owls, but at the same time it's really cool being able to see so many and like pat them and hold one. I got to hold one! Speaking of birds, I found the coolest socks just at a random clothes shop. Look at this! Look! I got cockatiels on my feet. How cool is that? It's like my all-time favorite socks. Alright, I am really sorry, but this video is getting super long, so this is going to be a two-parter. I'm sorry, I know, I'm terrible, I'm the worst person ever. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. So stay tuned for part 2 next week. We'll have a bottle episode, and then part 2 this time next week. Okay, see you then. Bye!